What is up, Buckeye Nation? Shane Larson here. I'm excited to be here with you as we got some big old problems in Columbus with the offensive line, and we've got 2 days until the next game to see if we can actually make some adjustments. Ryan Day comes out with this press conference, talks about a couple of things. There's some good stuff to chat about here, and I'm excited to get into it with you guys on this segment of Ohio State football with Scarlet and Great. Before we do that, though, man, we've got to wish Cory a happy birthday. Cory, Flo-Co, co-founder of the Scarlet and Great Empire, turns 40 today. Massive, massive shout out to Cory. He mentioned that this is his, Mike Gundy moment. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you should go do so. This is his Mike Gundy moment. Come at him. He's a man. He's 40. So with that being said, I would like to encourage all of Buckeye Nation who's watching the video to come at Cory. He's a man. He's 40. Come at him in the comments and wish him a happy birthday for me here on the show. And if you want to hit that subscribe button, help us out, that would be awesome as well. Guys, offensive line. We've talked about it. Okay, we've talked about it. We knew we were going to have some question marks. There's a lot of talking points this week on the entire game, like defense. We've talked about the quarterback play. We've talked about the wide receivers. We've talked about the running backs. We need to go in on the offensive line and talk about some of the stuff here. There's some good things and definitely some concerns that we need to work out. First and foremost, let's give a shout out to Josh Fryar on the right side of the line. He came out with the only lineman in the game with a champion grade. He had an 80+% efficiency grade overall through the pass protection, through the run game. Played a solid game. And as I went back and watched the film, I was like, okay, he actually did play a pretty solid game. It's hard to see that because of the other things going on, but he played a very, very good game. In fact, the entire right side of the line played a good game. Him and Matt Jones together did a phenomenal job. So I would actually expect to see the run game favor the right side of the line a little bit more in the next game or two as they all start to try to get their unity together. But those two actually played a pretty solid game. And if you have Chip getting more carries and Mayan potentially getting more carries and going, north and south, right? You're going north. You're trying to get up the field. You might see some success on the right side of the line. I was proud of them. Here's where I'm concerned, however. That's awesome. The right side of the line did well, but with a right-handed quarterback, as you guys all know, whether it's McCord, whomever, the right-handed, you need the blind side to be taken care of. And that is where we really struggled. I mean, Josh Simmons, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Looked completely lost. And I don't want to act like I could do better, right? I can't do better. I know I'm not in that position. The young man is there for a reason. The coaching staff has faith in this guy. The coaches there are ready to get this guy in the right position. He has game experience. We were excited for him when he came over as a transfer because he had some game experience. But man, he looked lost. So like I was looking at that, like he had the lowest efficiency rating of all the linemen, and that's from the pass game, and that's also from the run game. Like it was pretty rough. So that left side of the line, specifically Simmons, and I don't want to just dog on certain players, but we need to hold them accountable. And I think, the coaching staff needs to hold them accountable. And I think we will see that. Like there's simple mistakes that can be made, that can be changed, right? They're mistakes that can be shifted, and you can see some success there and potential, massive potential. Missed assignments, just missing blocks, some technique that you need to work on, and so forth, and a little bit of urgency and understanding of situational awareness. And Ryan Day talks about this. He said that they were off schedule in the run game. They had a 50% efficiency in the run game on Saturday against Indiana. And I love that comment that they were off schedule, because part of this is I'll paraphrase what Ryan Day said, is when you go into a game, you're not used to that. In college football, you don't get these in-game situations. So like in practices, like you play the game and you go into the next period and you're doing these things, but you don't really understand the impact of some of your missed assignments and how that throws you off your cadence in the game. You saw that on Saturday. It was a slow start. Like you miss an assignment here on second down, puts you in a bad position. Now you don't get back on the field until the defense makes a stop, and then you get off of your, now you're in a different situation. The field position's different. Everything gets shifted by simple mistakes. Now that the offensive line has seen that and has felt that, and they see the in-game feel of how it affects them if they make a mistake, that helps them lock in. Okay. So I have confidence that we're going to see them lock in. I really do. But I need Josh Simmons to show us something a little bit better in the pass game. Now, what I think we can do here personally is roll the line, like roll the pocket. We've seen Ryan Day do this historically, snap the ball out of the shotgun, formation and roll the pocket a little bit. Yes, it shrinks the field, but what I've seen with Ohio State's receivers, and our receivers are stacked, is it gets them some time to get open. It shrinks the field for them, but if they're doing crossing routes and so forth, and if McCord has an arm, he can get it there. It gets them in open space, and that's where you start to see some success there. And it lightens the load for the offensive line. So how can we, that was my question, like how do we lighten the load? How do we lighten the load for the offensive linemen? So I want to know what you guys have to say. Like, how do we lighten the load? Do we roll the pocket? Do we start in the run game? A 50% efficiency rating in the run game is terrible. So maybe we start by just moving the ball upfield, using the right side of the line first to get stuff going. Maybe we spread them out a little bit so the line doesn't have so many guys to look at and they can just focus on their assignment. How do we lighten the load? And that's where I want to talk with you guys. I want to chat with Buckeye Nation, see what you guys have to say. How do we lighten the load? And some will say, well, we shouldn't have to lighten the load. We're a powerhouse football team, but we need to find a way to get them in a rhythm before we get to Notre Dame and get into the bulk of the season. That's going to be super important for us moving forward. Now, to this point, okay, I also want to mention, I don't want to just take, just completely crap on the offensive line. There are some things that were positive. Like I said, Fryar and Jones did a phenomenal job on the right side of the line. Phenomenal's a stretch. They did a good job on the right side of the line. Give them a lot of credit. These guys will get better as the season goes on. Okay. I've seen Simmons play the game just from being over in Boise and being in the Mountain West. I've seen him play. I know how he plays. Like, I know how these guys can play the game. They're capable of playing. There's a reason they're playing at this level. Okay. They didn't just show up there. They know how to play. So I know that they can get better. I don't want to just dog on them the entire time. I just wanted to make it known that they have some work to get done. And like Ryan Day said, there's nothing that can't be corrected that they saw on film. Everything can be corrected, which is a massively positive sign for all of us. Again, this wasn't that unexpected. New quarterback, new offensive line. It's going to take some time. Also, the last point, we're not giving enough credit to Indiana's defense. Their defensive scheme was good. Their team came out ready to play. They stacked the box. Even their coverages. If you go back and watch some of their coverages, I mean, they did a great job covering underneath, over the top, doing a lot of things. But they stacked the box. They had the right assignments. They were getting after it every single play. They came ready to play. They had more energy. It seemed like, and a lot of times it seemed like they were more ready and more hyped for the game. So they started out a little bit faster. Their defensive front did a pretty good job. That front seven did awesome. An awesome job considering who they were stacked up against. And I think Josh Fryar was the one who mentioned it. Like, he expects them to make it to a bowl game this year. I don't know if I saw enough from the offensive side of the ball from Indiana to say that. I really don't know if that offense works on anybody, to be quite frank. But I do think they have a solid, above average defense, and we're not giving them enough credit because we're thinking of the Indianas of the past, who we just ran right over the top of. Who knows? Maybe they win 4 or 5 games, but I don't think that's a stretch for Fryar to say that they're a bowl team who could win 6, 7, 8 games this year. It's not a stretch. At least their defense is that way. So that's when I don't think he's just trying to, limit, take away what happened on Saturday. But I do think that we should give them some credit for the way they played and realize that this offensive line in Columbus needs to get some stuff done, but they have a lot of potential. I'm not happy with a 50% efficiency rating in the run game. Not happy with the way that the play calling happened to not shift away from that. There's ways that you can lighten the load, like I said, and I want to know what you guys think. I'm not happy about that, but I do have confidence in them. So, like I said, guys, if you could kindly hit the subscribe button, show some support for Cory's birthday, sound off in the comments with a happy birthday. But we would like to hear what you guys have to say. That's what I love about these videos and doing this on this platform, is chatting with everybody that's a Buckeyes fan. So let us know what we can do to lighten the load, what you expect from the offensive line. And come on, guys, let's wish Cory a happy birthday. We'll talk to you guys next time. Take care and go Bucks.